Do you want to flirt with women, but you just lack confidence in what to say or how to say it? In this video, I'm going to give you 30 flirty questions to ask women so that you can make sparks fly on dates, at social events, or when you approach that beautiful woman at the bar. Here we go, 30 flirty questions to ask women. I'm dating coach and best-selling author Connell Barrett. I help men confidently flirt with women and attract their dream girlfriends, all by being authentic. No creepy pickup artist moves needed. If you struggle with what to say and how to flirt, you're in luck. You're gonna get 10 flirty questions to ask women in each of 3 areas. Number 1, approaching women in bars, clubs, and lounges. Number 2, first dates. And number 3, social events, like parties, meetups, concerts, and shared experiences. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna give you a game-changing tip on how to ask any of these flirty questions without getting stuck in dreaded interview mode. Here are the 30 flirty questions that make sparks fly with bright, beautiful women. 10 flirty questions to ask when you approach in bars, clubs, and lounges. Flirty question number 1, hey, are you fun or are you boring? This is a great flirty question to ask her as your approach opener when you first walk up to her. Why? Because this question challenges her. It subtly lets her know that you want to hang out with a fun woman, not a boring one. And if she chooses, oh, I'm fun, then you can follow up with, how are you fun? Prove it. And if she says, oh, I'm not fun, then you can tease her and say, oh, that's too bad, but that's okay. I'll be fun enough for both of us. I love this question because it creates a frame of you not jumping through her hoops, you're getting her jumping through your hoops, and that's a good, confident frame to come from. Flirty question number 2. You know what's really interesting about you? Again, this is great for your approach opener at a bar, club, or lounge. It's flirtatious because it's basically turning you into a piece of clickbait. You are making yourself the answer to the question, what makes her interesting? And everybody wants to know what makes them interesting. Now, the thing about this question is you have to have something ready to say next. So what do you say next when she says, what? What makes me interesting? You can have like a universal statement ready, like, well, you just seem really confident, or you seem like you're really sure of yourself, or here's another good one, you seem like you're really up for adventure. Now, you can also just say something completely in the moment. As you know by watching my videos now, it's all about authenticity. The best, most confident, badass version of you is going to be the authentic, real you. So if you want to really be awesome with women, walk up, use this flirty question about what makes her interesting, and then just tell the truth about what you think authentically makes her interesting, and something really great is going to come out of the moment. Flirty question number 3 for approaching in bars and lounges. Hey, I need a woman's opinion. What do you think of my style? Ask her what she thinks of your leather jacket, or your shirt, or your shoes. Women love to be asked about style. What I love about this opener is it makes her the expert, and that makes a woman feel good. And all of a sudden, you've got her looking at you and checking you out. That's a great flirty question and a great flirty place to start that interaction. Flirty question number 4. After you break the ice and you're chatting for a minute or so, ask her, oh, so what's the story behind your name? And then repeat her name. Because think about this, once you learn a woman's name, you now know her favorite word in the English language. Everybody's favorite word is their first name. I was out with a client recently. He met a cool, cute girl. 2 minutes in, he said, oh, what's your name, by the way? She said, Faith. And he said, what's the story behind your name? Her face lit up, and she told him about how her parents named her after the George Michael song, Faith. And then I whispered in his ear, because that's my job as a wingman, I said, hey, tell her that it's a good thing your name isn't I Want Your Sex, another George Michael song. He whispered that to her, and she busted out laughing. So within 2 minutes, they had gone from hello to joking and laughing about her silly, fun first name being a George Michael song. And it all came from the question, hey, what's the story behind your first name? So this is a great flirty question to ask after you get a woman's name. Flirty question number 5 for approaching in bars and clubs. Who are you here with? / how do you know each other? Now, these aren't flirty questions per se, but when you're approaching a woman, you want to understand how she knows the person or people she's with, because knowing these logistical dynamics will help you understand how much you can flirt with her. You want to know, is that woman she's with her roommate or her friend or her lover? You want to know if the guy in the group is her brother or her friend or boyfriend or a cousin. This is valuable intel. Here's a quick story. My client James and I were once out at a lounge in New York City. We were talking to a beautiful woman in a red dress named Annabella and her male companion, who's a really good-looking, well-dressed guy. James and I assumed they were boyfriend-girlfriend, but we didn't know for sure. So James asked them, asking Annabella, how do you two know each other? And she said, oh, that's my brother. Now we understood the dynamics. I spoke to the brother, because that's what a good wingman does. James talked to Annabella, and within minutes, the two of them were holding hands, they were flirting, they were having an amazing time together while I spoke to the brother. Only by asking that question, how do you know each other and who are you here with, will you learn the dynamics to give yourself permission to flirt with a given woman. So make sure you always ask that question. Flirty question number 6. This is a two-parter. Where are you from? Then she answers, and then you say, is it true what they say about girls from that place? What you're doing is you're insinuating that the reputation of a woman who's from her hometown or home state is suspect. Now she's gonna say something like, what? What do they say about girls from New Jersey? And you're gonna say, oh, I knew it. I knew it was true what they say about girls from blank. And what this does is it essentially gets her chasing a little bit to understand what's the rumor? What is it about women from that place? And you don't have to actually tell her. You can just say, I knew it was true. So this is a playful, fun tease to make things playful and to spark her curiosity in what it is about a woman from whatever town or state she's from. Flirty question number 7, when you've approached. So what do you do for a living? Besides make charming men come up and flirt with you. Boom! This is a great one. Remember, we're talking here about man-to-woman communication and making sure things are man-to-woman instead of friend-to-friend. Watch my last video in this series if you want to understand about man-to-woman communication. And when you say, so what do you do besides get handsome men to come flirt with you or charming men to come up and flirt with you, you're giving her a clear signal that you're a man, she's a woman, and you're here to flirt. You're not there to be your friend only. You're not there to talk business. You're there because you're interested. And this lets her know, hey, this guy is into me, we're flirting, and that's the frame you want. So that's a great question to ask. I would say about 1 or 2 minutes into an approach conversation. Flirty question number 8 when you've approached. What do you love most about your job/career? This question allows you to talk about work, but in an emotionally evocative way, rather than boringly asking, oh, what do you do? How long have you worked there? Because remember, before you ask her out, before you get a date with a woman, you're gonna wanna understand about who she is as a person. And understanding what her job is important, but more important than the information is the emotion underneath why she loves her job. Plus, it's just good getting the two of you talking about what you both do, but why you love to do it. So ask her what she loves most about her job or career. That's so much better than asking her a dry, boring, informational question like, how long have you worked there? When did you start? How many hours a week do you work? No, ask her about passion and what she loves about it, and then she'll feel those good emotions, and then she'll feel good about talking to you. Flirty question number 9. Are you more into classy cocktail bars or fun dive bars? Now, with this question, what you're doing is you're seeding the idea of a first date with you inside of this flirty question. You're basically asking her to tell you the kind of place the two of you should go to for your first date. Now, she's gonna choose one of these two options. And let's say she chooses the classy cocktail bar option. Great. Then we lead to flirty question number 10, where you say, great, let's go to a classy cocktail bar. What's your next free night? And then you set up the date that way. So notice the power of the way this question is framed. You're assuming she wants to go out with you. It's what is your next free night? It's not sheepishly saying, do you maybe want to go on a date with me? If you're not busy. It's like, no, you are assuming she's attracted to you. Why wouldn't she be? You're a super attractive, cool dude. It makes you come across as really confident and assuming attraction. This is a great Jedi mind trick of getting dates with women, is you assume she likes you. You assume you're very attractive to her and you have a lot to offer, which you do. You are enough. And if you assume a woman is into you, you're gonna make a lot of women out there feel like, well, I guess I'm into him. This is a Jedi mind trick, young Skywalker. Now, did you notice something about these 10 questions? I didn't just give you 10 random questions to ask in any particular order. Please go back and rewatch this video. You're gonna see that what I've given you is an escalation, a cascade of flirty questions to take you from lightly playful and flirtatious to romantically intentful, leading to a phone number and a date. And I did this because I love you.
I love you, dude. I love you, bro Montana. I love you, Holmes.
Next, we have 10 flirty questions to ask women on first dates. Flirty question number 1, what's the best thing that happened to you today, besides meeting me? This is a cheeky, borderline cocky question to ask in those first few minutes of the date while you're both just getting comfortable with each other. It's just small talk, but you're peppering in a little cheeky humor to make you come across as confident and a little bit edgy. And make sure that you say the besides meeting me part with a sly little smile. It's a joke. You're being cheeky and playful. You're not trying to come across as a fake, arrogant guy or being somebody you're not. You're being authentic. Authenticity is the secret. I will shout this from the rooftops forever. Be authentic, but also be a little playful and a little bit cheeky. Flirty question number 2 for first dates. If we could be transported anywhere in the world right now, where would we go? You're asking her this. This gets her focused on the two of you as a couple. It's a way to talk about travel, which is a very cliched topic, in a way that's about the two of you. Instead of boringly asking, so do you like to travel? Where do you like to travel? It's like, no, where should we go together on our first big getaway together when we're a sexy, amazing, glamorous couple? This is a great way to talk about travel. Flirty question number 3 for first dates. Who should play you in the movie of your life? What actress? This question caters to her ego, and the actress that she chooses is going to give you a little hint into how she sees herself. And of course, be ready to answer this question yourself. You always want to be able to answer any of these questions yourself. So yeah, ask yourself, who would play you in the movie of your life, and be ready with a good answer. For me, I'm thinking either Brad Pitt or the guy who played Ron Weasley. Flirty question number 4 for first dates. Who did you see for your very first rock concert or music concert? Music is a great first date topic, so be prepared to be impressed if she says Beyonce. Be prepared to talk some shit and make fun of her if she says Nickelback. And of course, be ready to talk about your own first concert story. For me, it was Hall & Oates. And I don't know about you guys, but I think I would look great with a John Oates porn star mustache and mullet. What do you think? Flirty question number 5 for first dates. What was the best day of your life? Now, this might sound like a heavy, big question, and it kind of is, but it's a powerful question because you're taking her back to an incredible moment, a wonderful moment in her life, and you're making her think a little bit. You're going deeper. You're being more impactful with your questions now as the date goes on. And this is by design. We want to start off a date by making things light and playful early on, and then we want to just go deeper and deeper and deeper as the date goes on, while of course also getting flirtier and flirtier. Remember, we want her at the end of this date saying, wow, not only did he flirt with me, he's a great guy, but we went to some real deep places. Best day of my life was my dad's 85th surprise birthday party. It was on Halloween, and I surprised my dad on Halloween with my 3 sisters helping me plan this party for him, and it was the single best day of my life. So remember to have your own answer to this question ready. After she shares her best day ever, you share your best day ever. Now we've got 2 people being really vulnerable and real and authentic, and man, this is when dates get really great and connected. Flirty question number 6 for first dates. What's a secret that very few people know about you? I love this question because now you're inviting her to tell you a secret. And again, you want to share a secret first. By the way, make sure you keep this light and fun. We don't want this to be negative because some people might have negative secrets. We want to keep things positive. So your secret can be as simple as you've never seen Star Wars or you have never traveled outside of the US. So it could be something like that. When 2 people who just met each other start to share secrets, it encourages connection, it lets you both be vulnerable, and all of a sudden you become confessors to each other, and that makes things more emotionally intimate. Flirty question number 7 for first dates. Do you like to be the big spoon or the little spoon? I like this because it's flirty, but it's very PG rated. You can even crack a joke and say something like, just so you know, I'm pretty kinky. I like to be the spork. Flirty question number 8. What was your very first kiss like? This allows her to be a bit vulnerable and talk about her romantic history, but with some innocence. Again, have your first kiss story ready as well. I love talking about things like first kiss, senior prom, first date ever. Talking about innocent dating stories from your past is a way for the two of you to just get more rapport and open up to each other and start to really connect. Flirty question number 9 for first dates. What do you love to do in bed besides the obvious? This is a great sex adjacent question, but it's not vulgar. It's not too sexy too soon. So you might find out she loves to read in bed, watch Netflix, hang out with her cat. I love this question because it lets her think of you and her in the bedroom setting, but you're not being creepy and too sexual. So this is a great question to ask as a date progresses in the second half. And here's flirty question number 10 for first dates. Would you rather be kissed in the rain or in the dark? Now save this one for the second half and the very end of the date, or near the end. This is a great way to move in for that first kiss. Because if she says, well, I like being kissed in the dark, then you move in while you're saying it and you say, your wish is my command, and you kiss her. If she says she likes the rain, then you could say, well, maybe I can change your mind about that while moving in for the first kiss. Again, do you see how these 10 flirty first date questions, this is a gradual, mutual romantic escalation. We're going from nice to meet you questions to first kiss. And what you're doing here is you're leading her on the dating dance, but you're dancing together. It's a collaboration, it's a dance. You're not romantically escalating to get her to your seduction location like these other douchebags here on YouTube. You're leading her on an authentic, gentlemanly, but increasingly romantically sexual interaction, and then by the end of the date, the two of you will be all over each other. This is what's so great about this, is you don't have to do this as some weird pickup dude. You can lead this in a romantic, man-to-woman, authentic dance. All right, here are 10 flirty questions for social events, like parties, concerts, or meeting up for a shared mutual interest event. Now for these contexts, we want to keep things a bit more G-rated, because a first date is different than an approach, is different than a social event. You might be at a social event around mutual friends, or there might be a quasi-business aspect to this social event, so we want to slow the roll here a little bit. You're not going to be coming in too hot with a lot of sexuality, so you're going to notice that this is a bit more G-rated, but still man to woman, still romantically compelling to women. Flirty question number 1. So how do you know name of host? So let's say you're at a party or a wedding. You walk up to a woman you've just spoken to, and you simply start with asking her how you know the same person who's hosting the event. This is not flirtatious per se, but it does begin to create rapport. And before you start flirting with a woman, first you just need some basic human rapport. So this is a great question to ask first to start. Flirty question number 2. So how did you get into shared passion? Let's say you're at a common social event that's built around a hobby or a passion, like tennis, a cooking class, a soccer league, a volleyball league, an improv group, an acting class. Let's say you're having group drinks after the event. You're talking to a woman who intrigues you and you ask her this question. And what this does is this gets her to open up about the thing that you're both into. I was once at a improv drinks event after an improv class I had taken. And this woman, Rachel, I was talking to, my question was, so how did you get into improv? She opened up about improv. I opened up about what I love about improv. And by the end of this interaction, she and I were really hitting it off. And we ended up going on a date later and seeing each other for a while. And it all began by asking simply about our shared love of improv. So ask flirty question number 3 as a great way to just get each other talking about something you're both passionate about. Flirty question number 4. Can I tell you a great story? You're going to want to tee yourself up to tell at least one personal story about you, about your life. It's important to become a good storyteller in dating. And what I love about telling a good story from your past is this allows you to become instantly charismatic. Because when you tell a story, all of a sudden the other person gets on the edge of their seat and starts listening. And you get her listening to you sharing a story about your life. And here are 3 quick categories of stories. Number 1 is a fun, memorable travel story from your past. Number 2 is a vulnerable story. A story about a moment in your life when you screwed something up or did something embarrassing. For example, when I was in grade school, I dressed up as a mummy for Halloween to go to school because it was dress up for Halloween day. Except I got to school and I was the only one dressed up. I had the wrong day. And so I sat there in math class as the mummy while everybody else was dressed normally. I tell that story on dates. And the third type of story to have in your back pocket would be just a funny, weird story about something crazy that happened to you once in life. For example, I was once poorly mugged in New York City by a guy who came up to me and he pretended to have a gun in his pocket, but he actually had a bong, a marijuana bong. So anyway, having a good story ready to tee up, especially at a social event where we don't want to do hardcore flirting too soon, this is a great way to help a woman get a glimpse into who you are and be really charismatic to her, and that can get her very attracted to you. All right, speaking of stories, you can also ask her flirty question number 5 for social events. What were you like as a kid? Sharing stories and tales from childhood offers her and you a chance to be really vulnerable and just to share and swap stories about life. So be ready to tell her what you were like as a kid as well. And a really great social party or event interaction could just be the 2 of you swapping stories from your past. That's a great way to emotionally connect with a woman. Flirty question number 6. What is your hidden talent? This allows her to show off a little bit while also revealing a secret. And sharing small secrets builds trust. So again, ask her what her secret talent is, and again, be ready to share your secret talent. Flirty question number 7. Say, you know what I like about you? It's blank. In a social setting that's not a date, you have to make it crystal clear that you're beginning to like her, but you don't want to be too sexual, too vulgar. So here's what you do. You find out something that you like about her, and you let her know that you find it attractive. A trait like her wit, her intelligence, her ambition. You let her know you think it's attractive. And now you are beginning to more clearly put that man to woman message out on the table, that card you're playing. And if she likes that card you're playing, she'll start playing her cards, and the flirting will escalate from there. The power of flirty question number 7 is you're beginning to change things from, hey, we share the same social space, to I like you. I'm liking you. And here's what I like about you. This kind of vulnerability is necessary. So you go first, she goes second. Flirty question number 8. So are you more into X or into Y? And here's what I mean by this. With this question, the X and the Y should be a first datey activity. So for example, so are you more into coffee or hot chocolate? Are you more into karaoke or dancing? Are you more into darts or pool? What you're doing is you're seeding a first date activity and teeing yourself up to ask her out for the next question. So for example, you're at a social event, a party, you're hitting it off with this woman, you've told her you like something about her, and then you might say, you like sweets, huh? So are you more into donuts or cupcakes? And then she'll say one or the other, and then what you're gonna do is use the answer to ask her out in question number 9. Flirty question number 9 is you take her answer from flirty question number 8 and you say, hey, I'd like to get to know you better. Would you like to meet up with me and do XYZ thing? In this case, would you like to meet up with me and get cupcakes? Simple, right? You're making it clear that you like her, and you're also asking her to do a fun, light, simple, datey thing, like cupcakes, or a glass of wine, or karaoke, or whatever the question is. So again, notice how we've gone from simple get to know you social questions to, I think I'm liking you. Coffee or smoothie, what do you prefer? That's question number 9. Simple, right? And here's flirty question number 10 for social events, parties, shared interest events. You say, great, what nights are good for you this week? So assuming she answers yes, she wants to go out with you to have cupcakes, then you say, great, what night or nights are good for you this week? Don't get caught in the trap of asking her out on one specific night. I like to say, what night or nights are good for you? This gives her several days to choose from, so she can grab something from her calendar, put it in there, and now you've got a date set up. And the simple question, number 10, there's nothing complicated about this, but it is flirtatious because you're simply asking her to set up the date. And this will allow the two of you to take things to the next level on that first date. Okay, I promise you a bonus tip, and here it is. We've just gone through 30 flirty questions to ask a woman. You might be thinking, oh man, but I don't want to be stuck in interview mode. I don't want to be that guy who's interrogating and interviewing women. Here's how you avoid that. It's so simple. All you have to do is, over the course of asking women some of these questions, you simply answer these questions yourself as if she had asked you. That's all you have to do. Every so often, you answer your own question after she answers your question. This makes it mutual sharing, as opposed to just you interrogating her like in the back of the NYPD, where were you on the night of January 14th? Did you murder your brother? No, you don't want it to come across like that. And as long as you answer some, or maybe all, of these questions yourself, it becomes a shared exchange of fun, flirty questions and answers. So don't be afraid of interview mode. Be afraid of only asking questions and not answering any, and be afraid of asking boring, logical questions. But you don't have to worry about that anymore because now you have 30 flirty questions to ask women anywhere. Okay, thank you so much. Stick around though, because now that you know how to ask great flirty questions in real life, I'll bet you would like to get really good at texting women. Knowing how to text, knowing how to flirt over text, and knowing how to not get ghosted. You want to stop being a boring texter and start being a fun, flirty texter, right? In my next video, I'm going to give you a very simple system to get great at flirting over text and get dates that way. Stick around and watch the next video. Click it on your screen, and I'll see you soon.